All right, here's another idea for a project. This one fits in the biology category and ecology specifically. I'm doing this with my family. It's kind of fun to do at home. What I've done here is gathered some milkweed seeds, and we had milkweed growing in our backyard last year, so I picked out the pods. And here's what the pods look like. You'll have to look up what the plant looks like since all of them are dead and dry right now, but you should be able to find these in most ditches. They may have fallen down below the plant, but you're probably familiar with what a milkweed pod and seed looks like. That's your starting material right there. So you can pick those apart, pick that brown seed off until you have 100 or so or more seeds. And there's a whole bag of seed. Shout out to my co-op student who picked all these apart and put them in a nice bag for me. How you germinate these, what I've read is it's best to soak them in water for about a day first. So here's ones that froze over winter. I'm running a little experiment. So this jar has seeds that froze like a real milkweed plant would over winter. This jar has unfrozen seeds. So I took them into school and I kept them just sitting around in a drawer, I think, and I'm gonna see if these germinate or not. I started some on March 12th, and I have some growing already. So these things are pretty tricky to germinate, actually. But once they've soaked for a day, what you're going to do is spread them out on a wet paper towel, and you can wet it just by misting, like that. Don't put them underwater, but just keep them moist, and you can put them in a Tupperware container with a clear lid on it, or an old takeout container like this thing is here. And I'm going to compare March 12th germination with April 5, ones that froze, to April 5 unfrozen. So we're going to spread those out later today. And over the course of a few weeks, you'll get them germinating. And here's what they look like when they start to germinate. You see a small root come out, the leaves will poke out, and you'll eventually get a seedling that you're able to plant. Once the leaves break free from the seed, then move them over to a potting tray, something like this. Some of you will have access to greenhouse material, which is pretty handy. And I've got about 10 or 11 seedlings already on the way. And there's my biggest one. It's already 3 inches tall, and it's got 6 or 8 leaves on it, so it's looking good. Milkweed, as you probably know, is the only food of the monarch caterpillar, and it's also used as food for a lot of other pollinator insects. We've seen a massive decrease in monarchs and other insects over the last 50 years. So these kind of projects are actually making a huge difference. You can plant these things in your garden at home, or you can give them away for people in your community. And that's our plan here is we hope to grow about 100, and then we're going to give them away to people that want to add them to their garden right here in Smithville.